Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, lead us thou, O God, from unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace be unto us all. Namaste.
Hello, my name is Karen Foley, and this is Bharat Gajjar, and this show is Yoga for Health, Happiness, and Liberation. And today's subject will be on silence. I'm going to start with this week's message from Master Shivananda. He was a prolific writer and wrote over 300 books. The first heading is called Slay the Mind. And he writes, "How can I rely on this world? It has no real existence. The body is like froth or bubble. Everything is perishable. Kings, poets, scientists have been reduced to dust. This world is but a long dream. Days and nights are passing away. The senses and mind are deceiving. I have detected the outlaw. That outlaw is the mind. It cannot deceive me now. I have slain the mind with the sword of discrimination. I have found the Atmic pearl. I enjoy the bliss eternal. Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham." This next message is on peace. Peace is a divine attribute. It is a quality of the soul. It cannot remain with the greedy persons. It fills the pure heart. It deserts the lustful. It runs away from the selfish. It is the ornament of Paramahamsas, great saints. Wealth, spouse, children, property, and palatial buildings cannot give you everlasting peace. Look within the chambers of your heart. When you are established in the highest self within, you will not be shaken, even by heavy sorrow, loss, or failure, the inharmonious or disagreeable vibrations. You will tide over all difficulties or crises in life easily and will come out with triumph in all life's experiences. Mysterious is this peace. Marvelous is this peace. Realize this peace. Lead an ideal life of peace. Kill ruthlessly suspicion, prejudice of all sorts, envy, jealousy, selfishness, greed of power and possessions. Practice daily meditation and establish peace in your heart. Then radiate it to your neighbors and all who come in contact with you. Disseminate it far and wide. Preach the gospel of peace to all men and women of the world. Be still. Be in tune with the divine will. Let go of all worries. Cast out all cares and anxieties. Get deep down into the innermost recesses of your heart and plunge into the ocean of peace. Cultivate peace first in the garden of your heart by removing the weeds of lust, hatred, greed, selfishness, and jealousy. Then only can you manifest it externally. Then only those who come in contact with you will be benefited by your vibrations of peace and harmony. Hear the divine whisper in silence. Realize the power of faith. Feel God's sustaining grace. Know the way of escape. Build the shrine of love or the temple of devotion in your heart. Enter the glorious silence. Enjoy the life transcendent. Live within. Merge in the soul. Know the self. Become that. Be free and move about happily. Peace is your birthright. Peace is filling your being within and without. Peace is in front of you, behind you, to the right, to the left, above and below. Peace is the only living reality. Names and forms are all illusory. Realize this peace and be free. Wonderful is the power of peace that brings joy and eternal bliss. Peace comes from prayer, japa, repeating the Lord's name, kirtan, meditation, good and sublime thoughts and understanding. The Lord knows what's best for you. He molds you in a variety of ways for his unhampered play or lila and for the attainment of the final beatitude. Therefore, resign yourself to his supreme will and be satisfied with whatever happens, and thus prepare yourself for the attainment of that balanced state, samatha, where there is absence of likes and dislikes or the pairs of opposites and supreme peace. Peace is man's dearest possession. Even if you are an emperor of the whole world, what is it for you if you have no peace? Attain this peace through desirelessness, dispassion, discrimination, and meditation of the ever-peaceful Atma or soul, which abides in the chambers of your heart. The moment you acquire complete peace of mind through vicharya, right inquiry, you will get back restful sleep. Throw all burdens on him. Never worry yourself. Worry kills you several times a day. Banish it this very second. Peace is your birthright. Everything will be still and more peaceful. The all-merciful Lord will shape your circumstances. Leave the quarrels and evils unnoticed. Ignore them. They will take to their heels. Rest in the heart of the Lord. Outward conditions will change themselves. All will be peaceful. Be happy in all conditions, rejoicing in Om Namah Shivaya. The burden is his. His shoulders are broad enough, not ours. Let him carry it. Worry not. We only have one business, to remember him always. See his hidden helping hand behind everything that happens. Draw inspiration from it. You will soon regain mental peace. That is the basis of spirituality. Self-surrender leads to peace, joy, and prosperity. Everything happens by the will of the Lord. Let this be your Mahamantra. Everything happens by the will of the Lord. Do not swerve an inch from this conviction. Have this strongly engraved on the tablet of your heart. You will be at ever peace. The summum of life is the attainment of peace and not achievement of name, power, fame, and wealth. Lead an ideal life of peace and contentment. Practice meditation and establish peace in your own heart.
Thank you. Now, let us look into the silence. Silence is the most wonderful thing in this world. Now, why silence suddenly so important? Remember, the modern world is so fast, has changed so much, that human beings are not happy. And so noisy, everything is so noisy, that people cannot sleep. People have to take tranquilizer just to function. And millions of dollars of these drugs are used just to have silence or mental peace. So we have to recognize that in this modern world, silence, the peace is very vital, very important, and for your happiness. So what is this silence? Silence is meditation. Meditation leads you to silence, and silence leads you. So first comes peace, peace brings silence, and when silence comes, heart opens up. What is the language of mind. Mind requires language. But silence is the language of the heart, because that is the true language of heart. So it's very vital to understand the importance of silence in your life. Now, let us look into, I will tell you how I became so aware of silence. One day I was visiting with my family to Shivananda Ashram in Canada, where my guru, Swami Vishnu Devananda Maharaj, was there. So one day he said, let's all go for a walk. So the whole group went for a walk. And then we came near a lake. It was just sunset, just about that. Beautiful color came on the sky. And the lake was absolutely silent. And we sat down on this little bridge, and there was a beautiful little lake. And then he said, feel the silence, look the silence, experience the silence. And I said, what? Where is silence? I see this lake. But he meant so much. So I said, feel the silence, look the silence. What am I supposed to look? Silence. So I just didn't say anything. I was just sitting there. And then those words came back to me many times. Feel the silence. And I said, he was trying to tell me the silence is very important to your life. So be aware. So first step is to be aware of the silence, the peace. The importance of the peace, importance of silence in your life. So this is the silence is the language of the heart. So he made that point very crystal clear. And once you realize that, you say, this is good. Silence is a gate to heaven, into the infinity, infinite. So absolutely infinite. So I just want to make that point to you, how important is the silence. So I made this little chart. This chart tells you, look at the chart here. Okay? It starts with, you were completely in silence before you came on this earth. Then came the light, then came the sound, then the world came with Om, then three, that's the Trinity, the Guru, the God, and the Mother came. That's the Trinity. Flash came, many things arrived, and the life came, and the noise came. Life came, and the noise came. Now, you have to turn around to the silence, yoga, meditation, you have to start. And then you become aware of the life, importance of life. Many things will become one thing, flesh. And then you become very aware of the Trinity, the presence of the Lord, presence of the Guru, which you call Son, and presence of Divine Mother, you call Holy Spirit, the same. And then that leads you to just one sound, beautiful sound of Om. And that leads to light. And that leads you to silence again. So you have to reverse the whole flow. That's what yoga meditation is all about. So I put down here, be silent, have silence, feel silence, love silence, see silence, hear silence, know silence, go in silence, walk in absolute silence, and self in silence. And know that you are silence. Once you become silence, you know that you are silence, then you will become silence. So we seek silence. Now what you can do, now once a day, maybe you and your spouse, maybe go for a walk in absolute silence. You can hold hands, no talking now. Just let the heart talk, heart. Because silence is the language. And love is the language of the heart. So when mind stops, heart opens up. Many times, every year, I go to India to see my mother. And then many times, we just sit for many long time. And we don't say anything. But our heart is speaking. Love is speaking. Because silence is wonderful. Because your heart starts opening up. So once a day, you should try to experience silence. Somewhere, somehow. Maybe 20 minutes, half an hour. Sit in silence. That is meditation. When you stop the mind and silence your body. Let the body experience the peace. Let your mind come to silence. And let your heart opens up. Because love is everywhere. But you cannot experience love. If you are nervous wreck, how can you experience love? When you are completely agitated, you cannot experience love. Now, suppose you take tranquilizer. Then you put your mind to sleep. How can you experience peace now? How can you experience love? So, because you are putting your subconscious self to half asleep. So you walk around like a zombie. So you do this kind of tranquilizers and pills and sleeping pills. All these things are not needed. When you become very aware that the silence is essential. Now some people are newspaper and news junkie. They are news junkie. All the time listening news. Same news again and again. They read in the newspaper, they watch on the TV, they listen on radio, constantly getting news. Same news. What good is that? You have little time, so little news is good. You need news. But you don't need, you cannot be news junkie, constantly listening. No. You're wasting your time, wasting your life. So news, and nowadays with this new world, news is getting so much. So you have to cut it out a little bit. Now some people are noise junkie. They have to have noise, constant noise. You don't need the noise anymore. If they cannot sit in silence, so they turn on the TV or radio and will keep doing some work.